Hey guys, midweek astrology. Let's get into it. There is a lot going on today. You might find yourself having a very busy day. Things could feel a little bit hectic, maybe a little bit chaotic. We have disruptions to plans and schedules could be likely in the energy today and tomorrow, moving towards the weekend as well. We have several aspects playing out. First of all, the sun is leaving the sign of Leo, entering the sign of Virgo today. This is a significant energetic shift. And we also have Mercury in the sign of Virgo, who rules the sign of Virgo, stationing retrograde in the sky today in a trine to Uranus. What this is telling us is that this Mercury retrograde cycle that we have opening today and moving through the next couple of weeks is likely to bring some very shocking or surprising information that we weren't expecting that really changes things for us somehow. This is again being emphasized aside from Mercury stationing in a trine to Uranus. The moon is transiting Scorpio today and will also be forming an opposition to Uranus, while Mercury stations retrograde in a trine to Uranus. So this is also bringing up, layers of emotional upset that could be associated with whatever we're finding out throughout this period of time, but also silver linings, blessings in disguise, and we need to trust that we are in a Mercury retrograde process right now that is going to put things right. This is a reconstruction period, and revisions are definitely underway as we rethink and reevaluate essentially our perspective on reality. Like, that's the type of vibe coming through this Mercury retrograde cycle. We also have Mars in an opposition to Neptune right now, and we need to talk about that. Venus is also in a square to Jupiter. Lots going on. Like I said, probably a busy day out there. Let's get into our report of the day, you guys. Let's talk about this energy in a little bit more detail. What perhaps we can expect in these moments as this energy occurs, but also what it's indicating for the Mercury retrograde cycle that is going to play out over this next couple of weeks. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day, where we are narrating the shift of the ages on this channel. We are looking at the astrology as it's coming through in real time, as these transits are playing out, but we are also keeping in mind the fact that we are currently in a transition of ages, and as these daily activations and transits are playing out on a more minute level, they are also playing a role in step by step helping us make these shifts in terms of our energy bodies that are moving us towards these new frequencies that are coming in as a result of our transition of ages into the age of Aquarius. So we are looking at the transits, yes, but we are also keeping in mind the bigger picture and what they're doing to move us forward along those lines in that direction as our cosmic blueprint unfolds. Also, you guys, if you want to stick around till the end of the video, I've done a tarot reading for us today as well. There may be some messages in there for you. I like to tap the energy field for more than one modality whenever I'm doing these daily readings, just to look at things from a couple different energetic perspectives and try to get some additional details about what could be playing out for us in the energetic field. So stick around for that. That will happen at the end, but let's get right into it. There's a whole lot happening today. Like I said, we are in some very busy, energetic times right now. We have some sort of epic astrology playing out in the context of our greater energetic transition into the age of Aquarius right now. We have the planet Uranus that is really playing a very dominating role in the energetic field at large right now, being aspected by a multitude of planets over this past couple of weeks, past several days, and moving forward through the rest of the summer into 2024 as well, when we will have a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that is pending. So this Uranus energy, this great rectifier, expect the unexpected, blessings in disguise, the great awakener coming through and making a whole bunch of changes over this period of time and moving forward. And this is, again, all over the thumbprint, the energetic thumbprint of what we have going on today as well. And that's because we have both Mercury, as I said, we have Mercury stationing retrograde today. This is big news in and of itself, but in a very tight trine with Uranus in earth signs. If you guys have been with me following my channel, I talk about sometimes how when things are happening in earth signs, this is when they have a tendency of actually playing out in our 3D reality. When things are happening in air signs, this is like ideas and thoughts that are coming to us or information that we are gaining. When things are happening in fire signs, this is the creative impulse and our passions that are coming through. When things are happening in water signs, this is the emotions and the internal environment and like the sentiments and stuff that are the main focal point. But when we have things that are happening in earth signs, this is physical things manifesting in the 3D world around us. And with Mercury in a trine to Uranus, this is, first of all, Uranus is the higher octave Mercury energy, so it kind of honestly is like Mercury energy on crack. Whenever we have Uranus energy that is in tight aspect to Mercury, it makes the mind flow very, very quickly. It's like the synapses, the electric impulses that make our brains and our neurons function and stuff like that. It's like they're enhanced when we have Uranus going on. It can make us very sensitive also, and things can sort of hit us out of the blue. It's known for like these flashes of insight, these instant downloads, sort of this more like prophetic ability to like sense the future and what's to come. Uranus also rules the future and potential and what's to come, stuff like that. So, it makes sense that we would also have an enhanced ability to pick up on that type of stuff when Uranus is being so activated. But when it's aligned with the mind like that, it's just kind of lighting up, electrifying the mental energetic field, okay, of the collective. And Uranus is expect the unexpected. This is shocks and surprises. This is things like literally just hitting us out of nowhere. This is disruptions as well, especially to like plans and schedules and, the normal way, our normal day-to-day mundane experiences, how things are going with the sign of Virgo also being lit up right now. This is influencing lifestyle and, our day-to-day habits and routines could be sort of all over the place over this next couple of weeks as well. But more than likely, you guys, today, tomorrow, next week, the week after that, you're likely to gain some type of sudden revelation or insight or understanding or context or information or knowledge or a conversation, a message coming through that somehow vastly alters your perception of some dimension or aspect of reality and causes some type of major transformation to go on in the way that you are thinking about things going forward. So that's kind of how I'm seeing the course of this Mercury retrograde playing out as a result of where Mercury was when he stationed retrograde. Remember, this is also a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Virgo. Mercury rules the sign of Virgo, so this is a very strong Virgo Mercury influence that we have going on. Virgo is all about the facts and details and analysis and like a critical eye and like information and news and learning, also like health and healthcare and wellness, and again like our lifestyle and our daily routines and what we do on a day-to-day basis. It also can have to do with like what we have earned and what the work that we have put into something has translated into like on a monetary level and stuff like that as well. It's a sign of the harvest, and it's about reaping what we've put our time and energy into. It also is a sign that requires patience to some extent. It's not the fastest moving sign, and with Mercury retrograde, things could definitely, information and the flow of information could slow down a bit over this period of time. And I will also tell you guys, and we're going to talk about this more as we get into this report, but the levels of distortion in the informational field are likely to be extreme over the next couple of weeks as well. And we don't want to take things, especially things that other people are saying to us, too seriously. And this, you guys, this time that we are in right now, this is not the time for commitments. This is not the time for investments. This is not the time for deals. This is not the time for negotiations. This is not the time for like big important purchases. This is the time for trying to get a better grip on what's actually going on in our reality so that going forward later, when Mercury goes direct, we can start making, those investments and those choices and those decisions in a way that is going to be much more productive and beneficial and, useful and pay off in the long run than whatever we could any deals, negotiations, whatever that happen in this energy now are likely not to go according to plan, not to pay off properly, and there could just definitely be a level of deception or illusion or operating under some type of fantasy or just false pretense, okay, with the way that this energy is coming together. Again, like there's a couple other things that are emphasizing this energetically today, aside from Mercury's station in the trine to Uranus. The fact that the sun is also leaving Leo and entering the sign of Virgo today simultaneously, this is also letting us know that the emphasis on this facts, knowledge, information, like these themes, is even more prominent and significant because we've got the Mercury retrograde in the sign of Virgo. This is putting a huge emphasis. Like I said, this is letting us know the facts, the knowledge, the information, the context, the perspectives through which we've been viewing reality. There could be something about that that needs to be revised or reviewed, or we need to reflect upon in some way, with the sun entering Virgo simultaneously, being an energetic focal point, shining like the literal light into the sign of Virgo as well, and being at the very beginning of Virgo, right? 0 degrees of Virgo is a very critical degree of the sign, a very powerful degree of the sign that really holds and encompasses all the expressions and manifestations of this Virgo energy. It is, again, I feel like accentuating the significance of the informational component of whatever it is that's playing out over this period of time. Now, of course, the sun entering the sign of Virgo also does something else for us energetically, and this is another thing that we're talking about this week, as the sun in Virgo builds into a square with Saturn retrograde in the sign of Pisces. This is breaking down previous concepts of the structures essentially of our reality and the projections and the narratives that were the foundations of a lot of our beliefs in our reality as we go throughout this period of time as well. And we're going to talk more about that as we move through this report and as we move through the energy of the weekend and into next week as well. But the sun in the sign of Virgo, moving there for Mercury station in the trine to Virgo. And then the other big thing happening today, like I said, is the moon in the sign of Scorpio will be also forming an opposition to Uranus. So for our natal chart of Mercury's retrograde this time around, we have Mercury strong in his sign, forming a trine to Uranus in those earth signs. So this is things actually happening. And then also we have the moon in the sign of Scorpio forming an opposition to Uranus. So this Uranian energy, and I mean, also I should say that we're in a new moon cycle right now. Our Leo new moon cycle was a lunar cycle that happened in an exact square to Uranus as well. So we know that we are just like in the season of Uranian energy right now, but it just keeps coming up over and over and over in the context of whatever activations are happening. But, of course, I'm going to say that this makes perfect sense at this point in time, the way the cosmic blueprint is coming together, because we are in the thick of our transition of ages right now, and this is the age of Aquarius. Uranus ruling the sign of Aquarius, it makes sense that we would have a lot of Uranus energy being activated right now to pull us forward in that direction. So all of that being said, and then, also the Mars-Neptune opposition. This has been ongoing this past couple days, still ongoing today. It was actually exact yesterday. So we are dealing with this. This could be bringing some very strong storms, like deluge, flood, rain. I mean, Mars, this is like in Neptune, this is like angry seas, like angry waters. This could also be like things to do with oil and stuff like that could be coming up in this energy. But another thing to keep in mind this week, as we move through this week, as we move towards the weekend, take good care of your health, take some extra care. Don't plan anything like too physically rigorous. Energy and vitality levels are quite low right now, and with the Sun-Saturn opposition that's approaching as well, also from the signs of Pisces and Virgo, and we've got Mars opposing Neptune and Pisces and Virgo, Virgo, of course, is associated with health, and Neptune and Pisces, this can have to do with like disease and illness. And of course, the sun, this is our vitality and our life force energy, and Mars is, of course, our energy body. So both of these influences are suggesting some lower energy levels, lower vitality levels over this next couple of weeks. So we want to stay grounded, and we want to like do our best to up our self-care and to really take good care of ourselves, live some healthy lifestyles over this next couple weeks. And with the Saturn Sun opposition, Saturn really likes it when we are responsible, when we are self-disciplined, when we are like adhering to our duty to things. And with the sun on the side of Virgo, this is like our duty to our own health and our own well-being. So the better care of ourselves that we can take over this next couple of weeks, better care of our bodies and our wellness that we can take, especially through like the way that we are living our lives and just like our daily habits and routines, the more we're going to be supported energetically as we move through what could be just, again, a time of lower energy and vitality levels as the Sun-Saturn opposition plays out simultaneously to this Mars-Neptune opposition from the same polarity of signs. So I wanted to mention that as well as we are getting into this energy of the day. But, anyways, all of that being said, there's likely to be something that is happening. And today, as Mercury stationing retrograde, whenever a planet is stationing in the sky, it really amplifies the energy of that planet like tenfold. And with the trine to Uranus, like there are just likely to be some very like spastic technological issues going on. Like, don't rely too heavily on like your GPS or on, things going through the airways properly. Be careful about miscommunications as well. And just try to, practice active listening, and be prepared to have a backup plan or an alternative. Try to be more adaptable today if possible, especially again in regards to things to do with technology and travel. Could plans, schedules, stuff like that as well. But overall, this is what I'm saying. Okay, Mercury retrograde period as coming up today. This could be something we're dealing with, or over this next couple of weeks, reversal or review of facts, information, and context, going back over details with the fine-tooth comb. Again, the themes of health, wellness, education, and also finances could be involved in this somehow as well. Critical analysis, reversing opinions, rethinking things. Minds are definitely going to be changed. This is mind-changing energy that leads to transformations in our outer world moving forward that is going to occur under this Mercury retrograde with all of this Uranian influence. And people are also going to be taking a lot of oppositional perspectives on things in regards to projected narratives and belief systems from the past. This, I feel like, is coming up as a result of this Sun-Saturn opposition that is pending in the sky as well, that we're going to begin talking about. But the way that I'm seeing this Sun-Saturn, Sun in the sign of Virgo, right? Saturn in the sign of Pisces, retrograde. Pisces is the projection. Pisces is the fantasy. Pisces is the illusion. Pisces is the narrative. Saturn is the long-standing and established systems of order and control, and the frameworks and the structures like of the foundations of our reality. And with Saturn retrograde going through the sign of Pisces and the sun in Virgo, Virgo is the facts. Virgo is like the details, right? Virgo is the information. Virgo is the context. Virgo is the analysis. So when we have the sun, which is lighting up the facts and the information and the context, while Mercury is going retrograde, reviewing everything, going through everything with a fine-tooth comb, looking for errors. You guys know that's what Virgo does a lot of times as well. An ability to glaringly see the errors in things, or where things are not done right. This is what Virgo energy can pick up on as well. And so with the sun shining this light, right, in the sign of Virgo, while Mercury, ruler of Virgo, is also backtracking and gaining new insight and perspective and information and facts through which to we can view what has already been withstanding. And then the sun is opposing Saturn, the frameworks and the structures and the control systems of the past, retrograde, coming down in the sign of Pisces. This is the projections. This is the narrative. It's like very strong facts and information and context that we're gaining a second look at, that is emerging, that is like, I mean, Saturn, you know, Saturn is control, but with Saturn retrograde, this is like a lack of control. It's like the projections and the narratives and the illusions and the spins, okay, like are not having the ability to control the mind via, you know, the ideas and the context and the perspective the same way that they had in the past. So as a result of that, to me, this looks like mind control breaking down. This looks like cracks in the facade. This looks like the fog lifting and the fog clearing, but it has to do with the illusions that have been controlling our minds and limiting our perceptions and understandings, and that have essentially been the frameworks of our conceived reality. This is not going to be the case anymore. And as a result of that, also some more keywords that could very much be associated with this Mercury retrograde period are a prominence being just kind of like emerging even more so than we already have going on right now in terms of mental health and mental illness as well. Cognitive dissonance, I feel like, is going to be a major thing that we are simultaneously dealing with as this energy plays out, as literally the fabric of our reality begins to dissolve in a lot of ways. That, again, we also right now have Pluto in a square to the nodes at the very end, retrograding through the last few degrees of Capricorn before he moves into the sign of Aquarius once and for all. This is breaking down the last remaining long withstanding power and control systems of the past, okay, that have existed up throughout the course of the previous age that we are exiting now, but can no longer continue to sustain and maintain their control hierarchies moving forward into this new age. And so this is also like breaking down the 3D matrix that we've existed in as well. And so people are going to start to realize, with this configuration of planetary energy playing out, that a lot of what they thought or a lot of what they believed to be true, perhaps for their entire life, was like in fact a lie, was in fact an illusion, was in fact never true. And this energy that we have coming through right now, and there's a lot of it, this Uranus energy is doing it, but it's also this Saturn retrograde energy in Pisces that it's doing it. It's also this kite aspect that we have playing out with Neptune as, you know, the top and Mars in Virgo as the bottom, and then, you know, Neptune and sextile to Pluto and Neptune and sextile to Uranus, while Mercury is in the trine to Uranus, and we have the sun again like opposing Saturn. There is the Neptunian energy that has acted as any type of false overlay, okay, over like the truth of reality, like that, you know, people have bought into or people have accepted or adopted as the truth of reality. Like, this is the fog, okay, that this energy is clearing, and it feels like paradigm shifting ideas are emerging and acting as a catalyst to this process, dissolving the projections of any of these false or illusionary realities that we may have been holding on to for some period of time, or not even realized we were like participating in. But again, it's like this awakening energy coming through, snapping us out of something. And it's also funny, right? Because what are we doing, and what do I always talk about on this channel? We're transitioning ages into the age of Aquarius, and that means that we are exiting the age of what? The age of Pisces. And again, it's the Saturn transit through Pisces retrograde in opposition to the sun in Virgo, while Mercury stations retrograde in Virgo and trine to Uranus. And it's, you know, Neptune in the sign of Pisces in the opposition to Mars and the sextile to Uranus and Pluto. It's these planets in Pisces that are losing their ability to maintain the projected images. Okay, and as a result of that, we're being released energetically on more significant levels than perhaps we have up until this period of time from this Pisces paradigm, as again, like this Aquarian energy is so activated, and the new world begins to emerge through the cracks in the facade that are growing bigger and bigger as this force comes through to like snap us out of it, essentially. It's like, and realize this also, like Neptune, this is the dream, okay? This is the dream world. And Uranus, this is the great awakener. This is a mass awakening from some type of slumber as well that may have held us hostage to perceiving our own truth or understanding our own value or worth or potential and activating our destiny to like gain this much more fulfilling experience and, you know, contribute what we came to contribute in this lifetime. Where, again, like the Uranus energy, when it hits, a lot of times it is very unsettling. It can be very harsh, okay? But it makes the changes for us that we haven't been able to make for ourselves, and it is time. This is a mass wake-up call, and it's going to be really hard for anybody to continue to hide under the rock or keep their head in the sand or continue to stay asleep to everything that is going on after this energy comes through over this next couple of weeks. So it is, I will say, it is likely to be a very confusing and disorienting time. I think there, again, could be this emphasis on these mental health or mental illness issues, or, you know, people actively in a state, okay, of denialism, of denying truth, of denying reality, not being able to literally accept the truth that is staring them in the face because they've been so conditioned to perceive you know, reality as an illusion and the illusion as reality, that when they come face to face with the actual facts that this Virgo energy and Mercury retrograde is bringing us, it can be a bit mind cracking. Okay, so we don't want to be taking people too seriously at this time. This is, again, it's kind of like fog of war energy. If you think about it, like Mars and Neptune in opposition, Neptune being the fog, Mars being the war, the battlefield, the warrior. So, you know, we don't want to take sudden action based on something, because we really just, you know, there's no one really knows what's going on in this energy or what will happen next, how things will land. And this is very hyperactive energy as well. So we want to try to stay grounded. We want to make sure that we are thinking before we are acting, and that we are not taking any type of like rash or reckless action. This is also, as I said in the beginning, not good energy for committing to things, for investing in things. And, you know, I'm saying that throughout the entire course of this Mercury retrograde period. This is not the time to get too deep into anything, to get too attached to anything, especially deals, offers, plans that are going on. We want to kind of take that stuff with a grain of salt in this energy. A lot of projection is likely to be out there as well, like people sort of trying to project their best whatever of something, but it's probably not the actual truth with all this Neptune influence. And the thing is, though, people are going to have a much greater ability to see truth through illusion. Like, that's how this is happening. It's like, it's not that the illusion itself is being removed. It's almost like the illusion is being so, like, it's so emphasized that no one takes it seriously anymore. You know what I mean? It's like it's so prominent that we can see all the little cracks in it, and that we can see all the little fallacies and all the little details. And because the illusion has been so aggressively overlaid, that it makes it like impossible to believe anymore. Like, that's kind of the vibe that I feel like this is turning into, this is starting to look like. Today specifically, like I said, could be a very Mercury retrograde oriented day. I would expect delays, changes to plans, reversals, revelations, also revivals of things, like things from the past suddenly like coming back into our experience somehow. For a second look, remember we have both Venus and Mercury retrograde right now. This is also, you know, when Mercury goes retrograde, people from the past are coming back. When Venus is retrograde, people from the past are coming back. No commitments, you guys. Things may look too good to be true in this energy as well. Remember, look for the cracks in the facade. You are likely to find them in this energy. Today specifically, the moon opposite Uranus, mind-blowing news and information when we've got this Virgo focus with Mercury retrograde stationed, also trine Uranus, unexpected information about the past, unexpected people from the past, conversations about the past, themes regarding the past. This could also bring a very nervous, anxious energy, the mind racing again, feeling like a sense of anticipation. Our spidey senses are often very lit up when we have all this Uranus energy going on. Trust your gut, trust your hunches, don't trust other people in this energy. Sudden changes and disruptions, like I've been saying. Also likely to be a very like unusual, out of the ordinary day, out of the ordinary week. I mean, really this whole Mercury retrograde period is probably going to be a bit bizarre and unusual. We're probably going to be doing weird things and going different places and talking to people that maybe we wouldn't necessarily talk to with this type of energetic configuration going on. But overall, you know, today is probably a strange day, probably a strange week. And over this next couple of weeks, just that could be the general vibe. Very like wild, weird energy and the sensation of electricity in the air. Like I said, Mars, Neptune, you know, watch out for these strong storms, sudden interruptions of travel, okay, as well. Lowered energy levels, lower vitality. Again, we need to have a responsibility to our lifestyle, our well-being, and our health in this energy, and building tension. That's another thing that we have playing out now and through the weekend into next week, as we have this Sun-Saturn opposition that is, you know, building. And Saturn is authority, okay? So there could just be tension, emotional tension, unacknowledged tension, or just a feeling of tension sort of brewing in the air, and an underlying also sense of anticipation with all this Uranus energy that major change is brewing and is underway. Very, very revealing period of time and a very transformative period of time. Listen to the degree position of Mercury though for this Mercury retrograde station. It is going to be valuable. Whatever we gain as we go through this great revealing over this next couple of weeks is going to end up being of some type of significant value to us. Mercury station retrograde at 22 degrees of Virgo. That Sabian symbol is a royal coat of arms enriched with precious gems. So whatever we're going to gain over the course of this next couple of weeks, and it's going to be in terms of our perspective, our view of reality, like how we are framing our situations in our own mind. There is going to be something of value that we gain from whatever it is that transpires over this next period of time. We need to be prepared for anything. We need to be adaptable. We need to expect the unexpected, and we need to remember that Uranus brings blessings in disguise. Uranus is the galactic fixer. Uranus makes the changes for us that we haven't been able to make for ourselves, and Uranus puts things right. So we need to maintain the faith that things are not as they seem. Again, we don't want to necessarily trust the appearances of things right now, but you know, we want to look for the truth through the illusions, and we want to do our best to maintain the knowing in our mind, in our heart, in our soul, that everything is being put right now. And sometimes when things get way out of alignment or way off balance, there needs to be some type of, you know, harsh remedy that comes through. And so things that are playing out in this energy that may seem chaotic or may seem like less fortunate occurrences right now could in the end turn into the very things that actually like save the day or save the situation or make things so much better somehow. So we're not losing hope, we're not losing faith, we're trusting the plan, and we are maintaining perspective of the bigger picture. As this time plays out, no commitments in this energy, and taking extra care of ourselves, slowing down, staying grounded, and just being good to our bodies over this period of time. Now, that's what I have to say for the astrology today. Let's talk about the tarot for a minute. We've got some very interesting tarot cards coming out that are really working right along these same lines in terms of the ideas that they're expressing. And this is talking about some type of sudden reversal in regards to places where power has been stolen, deception, lies that have created burdens that have made it impossible to move forward in some capacities. Very, very interesting the way that the cards are coming out today. So, you may really find that this message applies somehow either in your life or on a more collective level. But the first 3 cards that we had coming out today, look at this. We have the 7 of Swords in reverse. The 7 of Swords, this is the card that is notoriously about like trickery and deception and, lying and stealing power and trying to get away with things and, just shady, underhanded business, tomfoolery, like trickery, not being straightforward and just theft or stealing or all of that type of stuff. But in reverse, this is obviously like that not working out, okay? Like things like justice coming through somehow, like, or being found out. And then the next card that we had coming out is the Tower, followed by the 10 of Wands in reverse. And the 10 of Wands, obviously this is a card about like having such a heavy burden that you can't even see straight anymore. Like you can't even see as you take one foot in front of the other. It's like the weight of the world on your shoulders, and it's like having to move forward, and it's like this level of oppression, okay, that is also coming from an inability to have a clear idea of what's actually playing out. Like, look at this guy, can't see anything. He's blinded by the burden that he's carrying. And then we've got this guy who's also carrying something, but he's trying to get away with something, and he is not being honest and not being straightforward. And these cards are both in reverse. And the central card there is the Tower upright, okay? So what this is telling me, again, in the context of this energy coming through, this is like Mercury retrograde, right? Anywhere there's been deception that has been clouding our vision to the point of, creating a burden that we can't find our way out of, or blocking our ability to move forward, or blocking our ability to even see straight for some reason, or to make a change, or to come up with like a better way of doing things, or something about, there is a lightning hitting the tower and there's sudden reversals. To me, this is ultimately, I guess what I'm trying to say here is there's likely to be some sudden reversals in terms of where things have been unjust and creating unnecessary burdens, restrictions, restraint, oppression as a result of that, or awakening to that which has been super shady and that which has been weighing us down so heavily and keeping us from moving forward. I guess that's the best way that I could describe this. Now, the rest of the energy that we have coming out is also very interesting along these lines. The card on the back of the deck that we have is the 7 of Pentacles. This to me is a very Virgo oriented card, and this is all about having patience. It's coming. We've planted seeds. We may not see the results that we want right now, but don't worry, you guys, it's coming. And then look at these other next 3 cards that came out. The 10 of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. Something to do with value, something to do with worth. This could also have to do with stability. This could have to do with home and family. This could have to do with finances and investments and deals and partnerships. This could have to do with our goals and our projects and what we've been working towards and what we want to create a sense of abundance and independence and stability and self-reliance in our lives. Something about, a reversal going on, okay, that we need to be patient about. This has been coming into fruition for a while, but the outcome of it is the reversal of, and it's hilarious also because it's the 7 of Swords. Swords is air energy. This is our ideas. It's like where we've been lying to ourselves, or where our beliefs have been blocking us from moving towards the true manifestation of our goals. This is talking about, a period of time, and we need to have some patience, but there is a divine intervention. The lightning striking the tower. There is a force coming through, a force of dynamic change that is going to flip some things upside down for us, that is going to be a liberating factor in our ability to create and move towards developing our potential and creating success for ourselves on some level according to how that looks to us moving forward. Again, the King of Pentacles. This is putting us in our power to create and manifest. This is either removing our own false pretenses that have kept us from acknowledging the truth of our own power and our own ability to create and manifest in our lives, or this is removing like legitimate obstructions on some level to our ability to take action to move forward somehow. But it is saying, you know, this process is underway and we need to be patient. This is not something that's happening overnight. But to me, this message is one of hope. And again, whatever looks like it is coming down in this energy is actually for the purpose of helping us to seed something that is going to grow something so much more abundant and beautiful and enriching and fulfilling and secure, okay, moving forward, and will also help us to feel much more empowered moving forward as well. So very interesting tarot message in the context of this other energy that's playing out, but it does line up with things. Remember, we do have Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Uranus is this lightning hitting the tower for the purpose of awakening and bringing down the walls that keep us separated from understanding, acknowledging, and awakening to Uranus and sign of Taurus, the truth of our own value, the truth of our own worth, the truth of our own potential, and what we can, you know, do, build, grow, cultivate with that to manifest something 3D tangible that provides some stability or abundance or comfort or beauty or something in our 3D physical world around us. Uranus and Taurus. So very much in alignment with the energetic vibes coming through right now. Let's grab one more card, synchronicity card, you guys. What's the last piece of advice that we need? What is going to benefit us to keep in mind as this busy day of energy plays out? Mercury retrograde, Sun entering Virgo. God's the boss, you guys. And you know what? With the Sun-Saturn opposition building right now, there is definitely an emphasis on who's the boss, who's in charge, clash of wills, things coming to a head, power struggles with authority going on. And through this period of time, regardless of, again, people's personal delusions, okay, or people's inability to accept the reality that's staring them in the face, we are going to keep in mind that God is in fact the boss, not somebody who may be under the false pretense that it's actually them, okay? God's the boss. Who then is that faithful and wise steward? Luke 12:42. You must do your job joyously and faithfully in the knowledge that God is your boss. Your subconscious will then respond and promote you and remove obstacles to your success, right? That tower bringing down, that 7 of swords and that 10 of wands, removing obstacles to our success. 10 of pentacles, 9 of pentacles, king of pentacles. We just need to be patient. Have a constructive vision. Be faithful to your vision. Show respect for authority and you will be prospered along all lines. Honestly, Sun, Saturn oppositional energy building. This is the best advice for how to deal with the power struggles and the tension building that could emerge in this energy as well. So very, very relevant and timely message coming through on the synchronicity card as well, as is generally the case. That's what I have to say today, you guys. Message from the stars, message from the cards. I hope you guys liked it. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think that they would appreciate this type of content as well. Leave me comments. I am so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I truly value your feedback and your comments and knowing how these energies are affecting you. If you are having experiences that line up with what I'm talking about, please let me know in my comment section below. If you want to know what this whiteboard says is in entirety, I post those in my Facebook group. The link to that is in my description box, along with a Facebook page and an Instagram account that I have as well. So that's where you find that stuff, you guys. And come back with me on Friday. We have a weekend video that we need to talk about. And let's see what's going on this weekend. Oh yes, on the 26th, we do have the exact Sun-Saturn opposition, and that's what we are going to be focusing on for our weekend report, amongst the other stuff that is playing out as well, and you know that we've got a bunch of it right now. So I will be back. You should come back too. You don't want to miss it. I will see you then, guys. Have a beautiful next couple of days, and until next time, bye.